Hi Sagittarius, I love bringing good news to people, and this month it's particularly good news because of the new moon that's taking place in your career sector up here in the 10th house on the 7th of September. This is an important transit because the sun is also part of any new moon or full moon, as you probably know, and the sun and Mars together here have what we call directional strength. Might have mentioned that to some of you last month. By the way, to those of you that are new, welcome. I hope you enjoy the brief but pertinent transits that we're looking at here. And this is important because when these planets occupy that 10th house or the professional sector of your horoscope, it is quite likely that good news, good opportunities arise within your work. And apart from that, the new moon that we see here moving into this area, there it is there on the 6th, starts to give you a sense that you are capable of doing new things. In fact, due to this current global situation, you may be forced into that, but don't shy away from it. There it is. You may be a little bit confused because of this Neptune aspect, but don't let that deter you. It is an opportunity for you to begin a whole new phase in your profession. The moon moves to the conjunction of Mercury and Venus. This is also an excellent placement for those of you that are running your own businesses. It gives multiple streams of profitability, an extension and enlargement of your circle of influence with business friends and social acquaintances and alliances. A little bit of a low-key period there when the moon transits its debilitation place in the 12th house of your horoscope. But the other important aspect here is the placement of Venus moving into the 12th house. Now, Venus is the ruler of your 6th house, and whenever the rulers of the 3rd, 6th, 8th, and 12th move into these areas, the 3rd, 6th, 8th, and 12th, because they are negatively charged planets moving through a negatively charged zone of the zodiac, as in the mathematical principle, they actually elevate you, especially on the financial level. So as Venus moves to your 12th house around the middle half of the month, it's quite likely some good opportunities financially. That's also underpinned by Mars here in the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of profitability. Most people know it as the house of friendship. You have to be serious about what you're doing. That's shown by the placement of the moon with Saturn and Jupiter here in the trine aspect to Mercury. And later, within a few days, you'll see the sun moving to what we call the Libran ingress. That's in the last part of the month of September each year. So that's a third planet that's going to activate this zone of friendship, profitability, and by the way, Sagittarius, the 11th house has a lot to say about fulfillment of one's desires. Excuse me. So all in all, there it is there on the 23rd, the movement of the sun into that 11th house. By the way, it's burning up the Mars energy, so that's a bit of a problem. Mars rules your 5th house. 5th house is speculation, so you must be a little bit careful in that sense. Don't spend the money before you have it. I've mentioned that you're going to maybe make some extra money and see some additional funds that you may not have expected, but you don't want to leave yourself short by going out and blowing it all before you consolidate. And that's likely with the sun and Mars in conjunction. Now notice also here Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of your marital sector, your principal relationships, going into its stationary, then retrograde motion. Most of you have heard of the retrogression of Mercury, but are you aware here that Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto all retrograde as well at this time? So this, for most of us, is a very powerful period of reevaluation. And in your case, the Mercury, which is the personal planet, is going to have more of an impact along with Jupiter, your ruling planet, and they are in the triangular aspect, as you can see here. These two planets are going to cause you to rethink your strategy and your direction especially while Mercury is retrograde. That's over the coming couple of weeks, but more so up until the middle of October, while Jupiter is retrograde. I should stop that. We've gone into the next month. You're in two minds here because of the position of Saturn and Jupiter, two diametrically opposed energies at odds with each other here, sending mixed signals to this triplicate conjunction with the retrograde Mercury in the 11th house. So it's a good idea to put things on hold for a moment. Take a deep breath and think about where you're going. Remember, a man going nowhere gets there. So make sure you're getting somewhere. You don't want to go nowhere, because you'll definitely get there. Take a look at what I've written up on astrology.com.au. More on this month with more of the aspects, a transcription of this reading that I'm doing now, and daily, monthly, weekly, yearly readings, along with a lot of free psychic readings there. And you've always got me here available as a resource if you need some clarification or a personal reading. You know where to drop me a line. Don't forget to subscribe, and please take care during these unsafe times, and then I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.